a lot of the American public are increasingly seeing the justices as politicians in robes. And now, after the revelations about Justice Thomas, as corrupt politicians in robes. They want an investigation. They want the truth. And the ones who are victims here are not only the American public, they're the judges themselves at the lower courts. Year in and year out, federal district court judges, appellate court judges are filling out those forms rigorously, accurately. And now, the nation's highest court is seeming to put itself higher than the law. And that is unfair to the other judges who are playing by the rules. And in fact, it is tarring the entire judiciary, undermining that branch of government that has no armies, no police. All it has is its legitimacy. If you undermine that legitimacy, confidence, and trust the American people, there's nothing left of our judiciary. And the greatest democracy in the history of the world, protected by judges who are supposed to be independent and partial, is going to suffer irreparably. That's why I think we need a proper investigation. It should be done by the Department of Justice, because there are allegations of criminal wrongdoing here, violations by Justice Thomas of the disclosure laws, incomplete, inaccurate reporting, as well as non-disclosure. And in the absence of an investigation by the Department of Justice, we have a role to play in Congress. But the judges have a role to play, too, in protecting themselves. And what Chief Justice Roberts has done in refusing to come before this committee is judicial malpractice. It is a disservice to the courts, to his colleagues who sit there every day, sometimes in danger physically, and always under the microscope of public scrutiny. So I think judges ought to be angry about this crisis of legitimacy that is enveloping the Supreme Court, because it affects our entire judiciary. And I want to ask Judge Fogel, in your experience, although you're a retired judge, my view is judges should be angry and fearful. Do you agree?
Let me answer your question this way, Senator. First of all, I said earlier, and it's true, I have a lot of respect for Chief Justice Roberts. He certainly was a great guy to work with for the 7 years I worked with him. And I think his intentions are good. I think that the rank and file judges to whom you alluded earlier have often felt that they would like the court to be a little bit more robust in asserting itself in this area of ethics and transparency, that it has been not forthcoming in some ways that I think it could be. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. I'm not here to be partisan. I'm not going to get into that debate. But I think that it would be good for public confidence. It would be very good for public confidence, and for the confidence of the judicial rank and file that you were talking about, if the court were more assertive in standing for ethical compliance. And I think this is on the court. I think the court can do it. I think they've got some really smart people. I think there are ways that they can do it that don't compromise their decisional independence or their institutional independence. And I think some judges are frustrated that that hasn't happened.
I agree. I've talked to a number of judges who are more than frustrated. They are livid. And I believe their views reflect a growing feeling among the judiciary. All I can say is I urge those judges to stand up and speak out, because they can help protect the judiciary as an institution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.